Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now, I did say on one of my previous videos you will never see me in my nightie, and you never will. But I'm here today in a onesie, and there is a reason for that, and it's because I have never in the whole of my life before ever had a onesie. When I was 21 I had a like all-in-one catsuit thing, but I was young and slim and it looked good. But I never thought, like, on my journey that I would get to the stage where I could comfortably wear a onesie. Now, I've looked at all the ones that people buy that are like characters and things, and they're big and fluffy and furry and all that sort of thing. That's just not me, because I would overheat. When you live in a bungalow and there's nowhere for the heat to rise to, it tends to get warm and cosy, so you don't need to wrap up. I'm always barefoot. I'm generally in t-shirts and things. But we were in Marks and Spencer's earlier in the week, and I had some underwear to return. So rather than like just getting the cash back, I said to Joe, let's look at onesies, and Joe found me this one. And what's really nice about it is it's like a fine jersey, but it's got a bit of a velour feel to it. It's not harsh, it's really soft and really comfortable. Now, I didn't want anything with loads of zips and buttons and things. This is really neat. It just has one button at the back of the neck, and you literally step into it and pull it up. But for me, what grabbed me, because there was another one, wasn't there, with stars on, which was nice, but a wee bit thicker. But what grabbed me about this one was it's got stripes. I love stripes. You know me, I wear a lot of stripes. And it's got pockets. So that's the two real bonuses for me. If it's got stripes and it's got pockets, I am likely to enjoy wearing it. And the other thing, we were looking at sizes, and I said to Joe, you know, find me a size 10, let me feel it, see if it's big enough. And he went, you don't need a size 10, Mum, you need this one. And he picked one off the rail and he passed it to me, and it's the one I'm wearing, and it's a size 8, and it's got bags of comfy room, and it is really comfy. So I would say to anybody, if you're interested in these onesies from Marks and Spencer's, they're £28. They're really, really comfortable, and I would think you probably need to go down a size because they're a lovely, generous fit, and they're nice and long in the body. For some people are a lot longer in the body than I am, but these are genuinely nice and long in the body, and there's lots of room in them. So yeah, I'm thrilled to have a onesie, aren't I? You can tell I don't lead such an exciting life if something like this has made my day. Right, I've been to Group.
Oh, and you got some very nice slippers as well.
Oh God, yeah. Went to John Lewis last Sunday and spent £75 on a pair of awesome sheepskin slippers. And then I had to take them back because when I tried them on without my socks on, because I had boots and winter socks on, when I tried them on without my socks on, they were too big. So we took them back, and they didn't have a smaller size because the sizing went 5 to 6 or 7 to 8, and I'm a 6.5-ish. Didn't have a size that fitted me. But then we went across the road, so I got my 75 quid back, went across the road to TK Maxx and got the most awesome pair. Well, I love them. You can fetch them if you want, Joe, they're in my bedroom. The most gorgeous pair of sheepskin slippers, and Joe's had some sheepskin slippers, proper moccasin ones. I think this is his 3rd or 4th winter, and his were like 40 quid. Usually I'd spend a £5 on a pair of slippers, but I'm getting to a stage in life now where it's quality for me rather than quantity, so I'm not desperate to have a new pair of slippers every 6 months. I'd rather have a pair that lasts me 6 years. So I think he's back. Are you back?
Yep.
Show my slippers. These are exactly what I was looking for. Exactly what I was looking for. And yeah, £30 in TK Maxx, and I think the original price was like 65. And they are the most comfortable slippers. 3 food items, and I'm going to get on with what I'm excited to talk about today. So food item number 1 is chicken. Now you might think, why is she showing us a pack of cooked chicken? Well, I'm showing you this because this is the kind of chicken I like to eat. It's got no additives, no colourings, no added water, no preservatives. It's literally just roast chicken and salt. It's on sale in Morrison's for £2, it's 240 grams, and it's lovely. And I am well funny about chicken. I'm not a natural meat eater, but I love that. And we throw it in the stir fries at the end, don't we, and things like that. It's nice cold, you can just warm it through. I'll have it with vegetables and a jacket potato or whatever, but Joe will chop it up and throw it in a stir fry, and it's really nice, but you need to throw it in at the end.
Because sometimes packed chicken can smell and taste like fart, yeah.
Yeah, he'll say to me sometimes, he'll have bought some cooked chicken, he'll open it and he'll go, I'm not eating that, it smells like
Or
farts.
it can be really wet.
Yeah, and you don't like that, do you?
Oh no, it's awful.
That is well worth buying, so £2 in Morrison's. I wanted to show you the poached salmon I eat from Marks and Spencer's because I talk about it a lot. I eat this at least twice a week, sometimes 4 times a week for different meals because it's gorgeous. You get 2 poached salmon, proper fillets. It's £6 for the 2, but oh god, it's lovely. Because it's got the natural oil in it, it's actually really filling. So one of those fillets is really filling. And then finally, this is something I've shown before, but it's a long time ago. At the moment, I'm struggling with sushi because Sainsbury's have done away with my favourite vegetarian one. And this is one, I'm eating some of the frozen stuff from Iceland, which I'm enjoying, for 3 cents, you get 10 pieces. But this one from Boots, is it Shaper's range?
Yep.
15 pieces for 1 cent. So if you just want a top up, or you want to share it with somebody else, 15 pieces for 1 cent, you're not going to better that. That beats having any other small snack, because that's not a small snack, is it? 15 pieces of that and a piece of fruit or something. It's almost a lunch for some people. It wouldn't be for me because I'm a big eater, but it's a good amount of food for 1 cent. I just find that awesome. Plus the fact I had enough points on my Boots cards to get a couple of packs for free, so that made me even happier. Nothing better than something you've got the points to have for free. Right, what I want to talk about this week. First of all, I'll give you my results, because I guess that's what people want to hear. Did she do it or did she not do it? She did it. Went to group, got on the scales, lost 1.5 pounds. And I'm really pleased with that because it just shows me if I am consistent, if I just keep working the plan in the way that not the way I interpret it, I do it by the book. I love it. I get so excited about food and I really, really enjoy my food. Then the results come. Now last week I gained £0.5 pound because I'd had a meal out. This week, no meals out, coffee's out. I think I've had, let me be honest, I think I've had 11 large coconut lattes this week, all within plan. I'm not having the extra A choice yet, so they don't come in that. If one comes as an A choice, the other comes as sin. So I think I've had 11 this week, but all accounted for. I've been out, we've had hospital visits, we've done all sorts of things. We've had a really busy and quite hectic week, some very long days. But food is at its right place. For me, food occurs 3 times a day, 3 meals a day. That's the way it suits me. I'm not going to say you do it your way, because you will anyway. I'm doing me, you're doing you. And that's all I ever talk about, doing me. Right, so brilliant week of excellent food. I am never hungry. And when I say that, I really sincerely mean it. I'm never hungry, I'm never peckish, I'm never like desperate to eat by a meal time. I pace myself in that I have 3 good meals. And 1 meal gets me to the next meal. And when I've finished eating at night, I don't need to sit around thinking, what can I eat next? Or I'm craving, or I need a pudding, or I need a treat bowl, or a snack, or a supper. Because when I've finished eating, I've finished eating. And I don't think about food again. And that's right for me. Anyway, what I want to talk about, what I'm really excited by and passionate about, are the changes that Slimming World have brought. Now, these changes weren't coming until Christmas. Somebody leaked them. That's fine. That's life, isn't it? I mean, in life, people do things like that. So Slimming World had to make the announcements. And I think, actually, the changes are fabulous. I'm not just saying that to make a video. I am so excited by the changes. Because when you've been at Target for 3 years, actually having changes like this gives you a whole new focus on your plan. Who can say this plan is boring? It's only boring if you don't make an effort to enjoy it. It's only boring if you live on diet food and focus on being on a diet. It doesn't need to be, my plan does never ever need to bore me, and it doesn't bore me because I only eat food I truly enjoy. I'll never come on here and say to you, I'm eating kale this week because kale is really good for you. Kale is good for you, but I don't particularly like it. I might have it occasionally, but I'll never just slap it on every meal because it's going to help me lose weight, because I don't believe in that. I'm never going to slap it on every meal because it's good for me. I would rather focus on vegetables I truly, truly enjoy, and that's what I do. So I think that having the changes as something new, especially for target members, even though it makes very little difference to us because we could already have a second A choice if we wanted it anyway, so that's not going to impact on target members. You know, read your Slim for Life book, it's already in there. But for me, the best part of all this is the fact that they're focusing on healthy extra A's rather than healthy extra B's. Because I genuinely believe that it's not fat that made me fat, it's sugar that made me fat. And while I was in the early stages of doing this plan and having extra healthy extra B's or sinning extra hi-fi bars and that, I was still very focused on sugar. And it was when I stopped doing that that the weight loss started to occur properly and consistently. Consistently, that's right. So, introducing 2 healthy extra A's for an extra easy day, what does that mean? Yeah, it ups your calcium, and we all know it does say in some literature more calcium aids your weight loss. But more than that, I think it's bringing the focus back to healthy fats. Now, I would never eat low-fat cheese. You know, when my friends say to me, you're on plan, I'm going to have this low-fat cheese because it gives me 40 grams rather than 30. I don't do that because 30 grams of good, strong, mature cheddar has more taste than 40 grams of low-fat stuff. It's the taste I want. Because if you're actually going to grate it over something, just because it looks, you know, a bit more, isn't what is going to give you the filling power. What's going to give you the filling power is the extra fat in the full fat stuff. So 30 grams of full fat cheddar has more filling power, more satiety power than 40 grams of low fat. Focusing on low fat makes me focus on dieting, and I'm not dieting anymore. So I actually like the idea that they're focusing on bringing fat back into the diet because that's what helps us to feel full, and they're focusing on encouraging us to reduce the sugars in their diet. This is the way I interpret it. You might not see it this way. Talking in group this morning, Laughing Cow, light triangles are still going to be a healthy extra A, so no panic about that. I know that some people were concerned about soft cheeses, but they're definitely still a healthy extra A. So on extra easy, 2 A's, 1 B, up to 15 sins, 5 to 15 sins. SP, so EESP. The focus has been moved again. You can have 2 healthy extra A's. We need the calcium, we need the fat, and I think we need the fat more than we need the low fat. Again, I'm saying that because I think it's vital. 1 healthy extra B. Now, I've talked over the 3 years I've been doing this plan to so many people who say, I only do SP to get the second healthy extra B. Slimming World aren't stupid. They knew we were doing that. I've done it myself. They knew we were doing that. And it defeated the object. Because the object of SP is when you are struggling, when you are plateaued, when you are not losing, you shock your system with SP. It wasn't shocking systems well enough because we were upping the sugars and everything by using the healthy extra B choices, in a lot of cases, including my own, I'm guilty of this, to have 4 hi-fi bars or cereals and 2 hi-fi bars. This SP plan is supposed to be strict compared to EE. If you were doing that, if you were doubling up on hi-fi bars, having cereals and hi-fi bars and that, it wasn't enough of a shock to our system, and I think over a time they've realised that. So the reason they've changed SP is A, to stop us doing that, and B, to make us realise this is a tougher plan. They mean it to be a tougher plan because this is the plan that will get you off a plateau, and that will get your body moving again, that will get your weight loss falling again. That's why they've restricted it now to 10 sins, because it's supposed to be a little bit of deprivation. So I guess it's halfway between a healthy food, well no, it's always a healthy food plan, but it's halfway between focusing on the plan as a lifestyle and actually lowering it and moving slightly into diet realm, because there are more restrictions. I think the beauty for that is that the people who do SP will be the people who want to get off the plateau, the people who want to lose a bit of weight, not people who are saying, I'm pulling it back from a weekend of excess, because that's not ever what it was intended for. One exciting thing I've found, and I don't know whether I should say this or not, but I'm sure it'll be around there on social media anyway, SP's been taken out of the book and given its own literature. I think that's good, because I never wanted SP pages in my book. I would have what we were generally in the habit of doing was stapling those pages together to separate it anyway. So giving it its own literature, let it stand alone, get that book out when you need it, separate it from being an EE member, I think is a really, really good thing. The new books, the new pack, which apparently I'm told is very attractive, the new pack will be given out on the meetings between Christmas and New Year and the first meeting in the New Year. So for my group, that is the 29th of December and the 5th of January. Now, one thing I would say to anybody who's currently using the plan because you've been to group before and got the book, if you don't still go to group, you choose not to go to group, or you want a copy of this plan, if you're an online member, and I'm assuming if you're an online member you get access to all this information online but you haven't got the book in your hand. If you're an online member, if you're somebody who used to go to group but you can't commit to going every week and you want this plan, go to group for one of those meetings. You only need to go once, you only need to pay the joining fee and get your book. You've got it then, haven't you? And I think that's invaluable, because I do think, even as a blind person, to have that book in your hand, to know this is my plan, this is my focus, is so much more powerful than flicking around a website would be. Because it's concrete, isn't it? You can keep it at the side of your chair where you sit at night. You can keep it in your handbag. You can, whatever. If you pick your kids up from school every day, you can have it in the side pocket on your car door, gives you something to read while you're waiting for the kids. But focusing on that book, focusing on that plan, that's what will get you slim. That's what got me. When I joined Slimming World at 13 stone 8, and I thought I had lost all the weight I could because I'd come down from 22 stone, I thought that was it. I joined Slimming World at 13 stone 8, and today I am 8 stone 13 and a half. If you told me that on the day I joined, if you just said, you know, you'll be standing there in front of a camera, because I didn't vlog my journey, I only vlogged my maintenance, you'll be standing there in front of a camera and saying, I'm 8 stone 13 and a half. I'd never have believed that. I've seen it in the magazines over the years. I thought it worked for other people, and if I'm honest, I thought most of those pictures were photoshopped. I'm meeting people all the time now who've done what I've done. I am not exceptional. Hundreds, if not thousands of people have done what I've done and are continuing to do it. I mean, I was talking to another lady today who's lost well over 10 stone. There was a lady sitting behind me in group, a different lady last week, who'd lost over 10 stone. These are not exceptional losses. I could stand in front of you and say I've lost 13 stone and half a pound today. That is not exceptional. And it doesn't matter, bottom line, if you've lost half a stone and got to target, if you've lost 12 stone and got to target, 15 stone, 20 stone, it doesn't matter, because that's your story. You're doing you, I'm doing me. One other thing, there are more changes to come, but you know what? I think we should get excited about them because they will be for our benefit. When I first joined Slimming World back in the 70s, it was J&M Slimming. You got one tiny little blue book, very little in it. Over the years, we've gone through the red and the green and the beginnings of food optimizing, which came after that, and there were, you know, all these different plans. But I think that where we're going with Slimming World is way ahead of the game. Well, Slimming World is the biggest weight management organisation in this country. I don't know about Weight Watchers, they're not as big as Slimming World, they don't have as much success as Slimming World, and I'm not afraid to say that, but there is nothing wrong with Weight Watchers. If that works for you, that's all that matters, because you're doing you. I'm not knocking Weight Watchers. What I would say is that Weight Watchers are gradually adapting one of their plans to become more and more like Slimming World. Slimming World needs to stay ahead of the game, and that's what they're doing. And nobody spends more money as a weight loss organisation than Slimming World do on training their consultants. So if you go to a consultant and you think, oh, I don't think much of you, find yourself a better one, find yourself one that's committed to training. We're very lucky where we live. We live a stone's throw from, what do they call it, Sparkly Towers or something. Head office at Alfreton is literally onto the M1 and off the other side from where I live. So my consultant, she does every bit of training possible. She's regularly at head office. She's totally committed to keeping ahead of the game. Now, I think it must be very different. If you live in Land's End or John O'Groats, and you don't have the access to head office, but you will have an area manager who is committed to training. So all consultants have the opportunity to be well trained. But if you go to a consultant, and I will be honest and say, I've been to some consultants who I have been totally disillusioned by over the years. If you've got one like that, the choice is within your power to change that. You can find a better one. You know, I don't go to my nearest group, and that's not to say there aren't other good consultants in my area. But I've got 1, 2, probably 3 groups that are a lot closer than the one we drive to. But I know which one works for me because I want what the consultant's got. And yeah, this plan works if you work it. People will say to me, some people will say to me, Jane, you're extreme. Hands up, I am. I am extremely in love with this plan. I am extremely determined to stick to the book because that works for me. If I start fudging it, I'm going to gain weight. If I start saying it doesn't matter, I'm going to gain weight. I'm maintaining the weight I'm at. I've maintained this weight for over a year. If I said to you, is it easy? Pardon me, or if you said to me, is it easy? It's not difficult. It's not difficult, it's not hard work, it's just what I do. I don't want to paint a picture of that I'm any different to anybody else. I'm not any different to anybody else. My lifestyle might be because I haven't got small children to cater for. You know, that I think must be really, really difficult, and that's probably why I couldn't do it when Joe was small. But Naomi said something in group this morning when a lady asked, there are a lot of Christmas meals coming up, what do I do about the pudding? Do I have one or don't I? Naomi said you do what works best for you. You look at it and you say to yourself, how much do I want to lose weight this week? Or am I prepared to accept to maintain or even a gain? It's an individual choice. It's your journey. You know, it's that simple. And my choices this week have been to sin everything I needed to sin, to have 1 healthy extra B, 1 healthy extra A, and over the week I've used 96 sins. That got me a 1.5 pound loss. So I'm doing me. I'm not saying anybody else should do what I do, and I'm certainly not knocking what anybody else does. But for me, following a consultant who's got the results that I want, that's made it easier for me. Because in the years in the past, when I went to a consultant who had a lot of weight to lose, she didn't inspire me. Lovely lady, but she didn't inspire me. So, yeah. That's it for this week. A brilliant week, a tough week in a lot of ways, but not food-wise. Because consistency, every day I'm adding to the chain of consistency on plan, makes that chain stronger, so that when I feel like I'm slipping or falling, that chain holds me up. This plan actually gives me the confidence to live my life really well and not be totally obsessed with food. And I know there's a lot of other people out there doing what I'm doing. I know there's a lot of fabulous people who comment on my channel who are also Target members and maintaining it. We're not exceptions. Anybody can get what we've got. That's what excites me about it. It's not an exclusive club, it's open to all of us. So we'll be back next week. Have a great one, and remember, it works if you work it, it won't if you don't. We'll see you next week. Say bye, Joe.
Bye.